and and fold them. Hello, it is Serena, and I'm finally getting my hands into fabric and sewing again. So I'm kind of also thinking about the fall, and I want to wear plaids and just cozy vibes, so I'm going to try to do a dual purpose outfit. Something that is light enough for me to wear in the pits of Hades in the Midwest summer, but also something that is nice to also wear in September and October in the Midwest. So I am going to finally do this project. I'm excited. So I'm going to stop blabbing and tell you what I'm going to do. I picked up this pattern, this McCall's M8108, and I'm going to go back to a, I guess, I don't want to say it's a UFO because I did finish this project, but I didn't like it when I finished it, and I really didn't follow through making the video about it, and I really haven't even touched it since. Last spring I attempted to make a modernized version of a 18th century Outlander inspired skirt to go along with my pirate shirt that I did make a video on. I didn't really like it, how it turned out, and it just wasn't that flattering. So I put a lot of fabric into the skirt, and so I think there's enough to, and I have enough left over that I think there's enough to make this pattern. I am gonna option B on this McCall's. I'm gonna go for the short sleeve, nice volume in the shoulders, so short sleeve enough that I can wear it in the heat of the summer, but also it's warm enough or cool enough to wear in the weird September, is it summer, is it fall, we don't know yet, time. So I'm really excited. Let me go get my skirt. So I bought this linen. It's like a plaid weaved linen, and I bought it because it reminded me a lot of Claire Fraser's skirt in Outlander in season 2 when they are, you know, building up to Culloden. She had this beautiful tartan, it's a wool skirt, but it was similar to this pattern. Hers was more like brown tone. This is more of a blue tone, but I thought it was really good. I believe in the Outlander replica clothing like community, that pattern, the tartan pattern, is referred to as honor and redemption. If I am wrong about that, let me know in the comments below. But I saw this on Mood, and it was linen. I was like, oh, perfect. I can wear plaid in the summer. It'll be all awesome. I'm going to turn this skirt and the scant remnants of that into this McCall's pattern. And the front it looks like the front bodice is sectioned off in 3 sections. So I think in the middle bust section, I'm going to turn the plaid pattern kind of horizontal, so I have like a diagonal plaid pattern, kind of very similar to Claire season 1 Rent. Yeah, Rent and Lallybroch. Her plaid there, where it's a cute little bodice, but yeah, trust me. I am going to go ahead and pick apart my skirt. I am also going to figure out what size I need in this McCall's pattern and cut out
I have been sewing these big box patterns enough to know that whatever size I cut out will just be a guesstimate, and that I will definitely need to make a mock-up. I've also been sewing enough that I just tend to skim the pattern instructions. Sometimes that works out for me, but sometimes it doesn't. Just a little foreshadowing for you.
I'm about 1 or 2 hours before I have to start dinner. So I've already cut out the pattern. I did not cut out the skirt portion of the pattern because it just appears to be just big rectangles, and I feel like I could just do that without having to cut out the pattern for it. And also I was looking at the pattern and then some other like reviews and like other people's videos on doing this pattern, and I don't know if what the pattern gives me is going to be enough circumference without it looking like I'm pregnant. That is my problem. I have had 2 ginormous 10-pound babies. My stomach is stretched out. If I wear these baby doll dresses, I generally look like I'm pregnant, and that's why I don't typically go out. You know, I can't really buy store-bought dresses like this. Hoping that I can make it or place it along my body to where I don't appear like I'm 6 months pregnant. I will cry if I put a lot of time into this and it ends up looking like I'm pregnant, but let's fingers crossed that I will look fabulous in my dress. So good vibes. I'm gonna go ahead and pick this apart and start cutting out my fabric. I probably won't start sewing tonight. It's the next day and I cut everything out. Unpicking my original skirt that I had made, I had done a lot of hand stitching. I don't even know why I did hand stitching and felling of the seams. So I felt like I'm just going to keep the side seams of my skirt that I had before. And so I didn't have a lot at the bottom of the skirt to play with at the top and the sleeves. So I decided to just go ahead and cut up an old sheet and do this mock-up, which I'm glad I did because these sleeves are weird. I don't know if I got the placement. I matched all of the dots together to put the sleeves in, but obviously one sleeve is like fitting, but the other sleeve is not. And I honestly feel like the sleeve placement is off, as well as the bodice like placement. I'm gonna play around with this because my comfort zone, so if I think I put the bodice where I think the picture has it on the model, it's down pretty far. I'm gonna have a lot of boobage. And I'm a mom, I'm almost 40 years old. I just don't feel comfortable with that. That's my own thing. So if I raise the bodice up a little bit, obviously it's going to make these sleeves, this part wonky. So I am going to take that part, but it also raises up this waistline, which can be a bad thing, can be a good thing. The one thing that I might run into is the waist like cutting me off at the boob, and we had like a Penelope Bridgerton situation, which I mean, my bust is a lot smaller than Penelope's, but I don't want that to happen. But if I have it, you know, hit the right spot with my mommy pooch, I won't look pregnant because it'll hit right where the widest part of my belly is. So I'm gonna play around with that. I'm gonna play around with this, they call this the yoke. I have a feeling maybe I got the sides mixed up, maybe because it is in two pieces. So I'm gonna take this apart. The back is hitting, obviously this one is not hitting good, but the back is hitting almost okay. And I'm gonna mess around and see what I come up with. Okay, so now I know why the left was all, like the strap was all wonky. It's because I had the two bodice pieces flipped. So I flipped that, everything was looking good. So I went ahead and seam ripped the shoulder portion. And I feel like these straps, even though I put them where the pattern told me, lined up all the dots, I feel like the strap is too far that way. So I am going to, I don't know about the back, I think the back is fine, but I'm going to seam rip these and place these straps closer. Hopefully that will do the trick. Alright, I moved the strap to where I thought it was going to be, and I think it looks good. However, I think this strap is just too thick, because by the time I take in my seam allowance, I feel like they're just too close together right here. I feel like if I take a ruler and mark it and kind of angle it and just shorten this strap width just a little bit, I think I would be good to go. Okay, so I'm about to cut all my pieces. Here is my skirt piece. To try my best to just kind of keep that skirt area. It's a lot of fabric though, so hopefully I have enough to do pockets and a bias, because I want to do the front a bias, and I want to do the armbands bias too, because I think that would look cute against everything. So I guess let's start cutting. Okay, hello, it's day 3 of this project, and I have all of my pieces cut out, and hopefully I will be able to assemble most of the dress today. Probably have a good solid 3 to 4 hours to work. So I'm going to try to knock out as much as possible. Like I said, everything is cut out, so hopefully the assembly will go go okay. I definitely overestimated the amount of fabric that I had in the skirt. Was able to cut out all of the pieces in my fashion fabric. I even was able to do the armbands and bias as well as the front panel piece. However, I did not have enough for the lining. So I dug through my mountain of fabric stash, and luckily I had just enough leftover cream linen that I had from a different project that I was able to piece out the lining out of that. I didn't know if I wanted to mess with pockets or not. I definitely...
Do I do a musician?
You want to be a musician? Do you need something?
Musician!
Oh, do you want to listen to music?
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I like musician. Cortez has a musician.
Cortez from Endless Alphabet
Has a musician.
has a musician.
Don't play musician?
Do you want to go play musical instruments?
Yes.
Okay, what do you want to play?
2,000 years later.
It was altogether very extraordinary. Flattering.
Ran into my first, well, not my first, but I guess my first major problem. Apparently I did not read the pattern very well, especially when doing my mock-ups. I tend to just look at pictures. I probably should read them. Okay, so remember when I was doing my mock-up and I was like, this is just too wide. I don't like this. And so I shortened the straps because I thought you would have to cut the lining out of the straps and sew them that way. Apparently they were wide because you were only going to use the fashion fabric for the yoke, or I keep on calling them straps, and and fold them over and turn them inside out. So you would have the fashion fabric on the top and the bottom. So I can't do that because I have no more fashion fabrics. So I'm just going to sew them like I thought it was going to be. Oh well, now I know. It didn't mess it up, so I'm so happy. The sleeves look good, even though I kind of messed up that in the pattern. I feel like the thicker band might be even better, so I don't have to worry about my bra like peeking out. So yeah, it is, what time is it? It's noon, so I need to feed my little goblins and feed Mama Goblin herself, and then I'm gonna come down and go through the sleeve, and then yeah. So far, so good. Just that little snafu. The dress, I'm glad I did the mock-up. Kind of the mock-up. It's coming together pretty nicely, which I'm very surprised because generally patterns do not. Alright, I'm gonna go eat because I'm hungry. Alright, it's starting to look good. I am liking it so far. I'm going to go ahead and just push through the bodice lining and doing the skirt panels without actually sewing it to the dress. I sewed up my two skirt panels, and I guess here's another bad news for me is that I didn't cut my skirt panels correctly. So pockets, these pockets, it's not gonna happen. I mean I could do it, but it's going to take too much brain power, and I've already made a couple of mistakes and I don't want to make any more. I actually want a wearable garment. Hello and good morrow. Actually, it's more than just morrow. It's been a bit. I got this far into the project and I kind of hit a snafu, and I'm going to share with you. It's pretty much done. Like, I could go out and wear this in public and be okay. Did not realize that this was such a open neckline and that my modern bra underneath was going to show. So I did take the loop bands on my old waistband and basically put a snap on them and sewed them underneath, so I have, I guess what you call a bra strap. And I love it so far. I'm not all that comfortable with this much open neck space, but I don't know. It's kind of growing on me. But this is what I'm not comfortable with. Ready? This is a really low back band. I could either sew a bra in and cut the straps off, which I guess that could work, but I'm not sure on how to do that. Or I can, which this is what I've done so far, is I marked on, I think this side, how much I need of my back in order not to show. And I think I am going to sew in a panel right here. I'm not sure if I'm just going to do a straight across the board panel or a sloping panel. But here's my problem. Since I literally took apart an old skirt, not really old, but a skirt that I made last year to reuse the fabric for this, I don't have very much scraps left. Like literally, I have just pieces of this fabric left and my old pockets. I have 2 of these pockets that I sewed into that old skirt, and I'm not sure if that's enough material. I have a feeling it is, but I won't know until I take this dress off and measure it and try to figure it out. So that's what I'm gonna do. Almost 5 inches if I take in seam allowance. So I think I could do it, and I can do it even with matching the line. Yay. I'm gonna go ahead and pick apart these pockets and salvage the bigger piece. Okay, so my original thought was just to cut out a rectangular piece and be done with it. However, I have this little zipper right here, and I don't feel like redoing the zipper. So I might regret this, and this may still not go right. But I am going to do a triangle.
In order to be able to use the zipper properly, I had to fold under the tip of the triangle where it meets the zipper.
Hello, this is the next day, and this is what I have so far. It's a shame that all of my people that have opposable thumbs are either at work or at school. So I think this is going to do it. I know it's still showing my bra, but I think if I put 2 more strap holder things to snap my bra in. Again, this is going to be hard for me to actually get into this dress by myself, but lesson learned. Next time I do this pattern, I'm going to fix the back somehow that I don't have to do all of this unnecessary work. I'm going to go ahead and start working on this and hopefully finish this dress by today.
And take only what they could care for themselves. She was the one who told the silly babysitter to look for the aunt's phone number in their mother's date book. And she insisted she be allowed to call and announce that she...
I'm quickly losing daylight, and I just wanted to wrap up this project. All in all, I really like this dress. It is a little bit lower than what I like, so I think I'm gonna mark on the pattern to raise the neckline, fit and everything. It is a little bit tight, so I might drop the waistline a little bit, but all in all, it was really fun. I'm glad that I took a skirt that I made last year and never wore again into actually something that I will wear again. For the winter months, to cover up some of this so I can stay warm, I might actually make a kerchief or maybe a chemisette. Is that how you say it? The things that they wore during the Regency era, like underneath their gowns, because I mean, let's face it, this is kind of Regency-esque, more Regency, or I guess Outlander does Regency. Maybe if Claire went to the early 1800s instead of the mid 1700s. But I also think I found some goldenrod Claire uses, as well as you can dye, yarn, and fabric with. So if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much. I hope you like and subscribe to this channel. So you guys all have a fabulous day and see you later. Bye.